The definition of time is temporal length of event or entity's existence. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Partly funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the vault contains a diverse selection of seeds from all over the world as a precaution against some planetary catastrophe. The Immortality Drive. A microchip containing a digitized DNA sequences of Stephen Colbert, Playboy model Joe Barsha, and the world's most predominant physicist was taken to the International Space Station in 1998. The Voyager satellite. This satellite contains within it a golden record etched with phonic directons to Earth, as well as recorded sounds and readings found in our present culture, as a time capsule communication with aliens or far future Earthmen. These are but 3 ways we are working to ensure that semblances of our race will go on after our own inevitable destruction. What if there was another way? Time travel. At the rate of our own technological advances, is it so hard to imagine time travel being developed? If all the time of the Earth's 4.54 billion years were reduced to 1 year, man's time would be 1 minute of that year. With this time scale, man's time spent with technology would only add up to a fraction of 1 second of that 1 minute. Within the last 300 years we have gone from water wheels, clockworks, and steam engines, to present-day multi-core microprocessors, multi-band fractal frequency antennas, and in-orbit satellite telescopes capable of observing the universe's most distant objects. In Geneva, the Large Hadron Collider is the world's largest and highest energy particle accelerator built for, among other things, to detect the Higgs boson particle. The Higgs boson particle would help explain the origin of mass in the universe, supersymmetry, what the nature of dark matter is, and revealing the mystery of extra dimensions. Is circulating beams of protons at 99.9999991% of the speed of light. In this early development of this project, we can only produce a single Higgs boson every few hours. From the first powered flight in 1903 by the Wright brothers, to orbital space tourism 100 years later, we are on a fast track to precise enlightened scientific mastery over every branch and fork of the unfathomable knowledge our universe presents. Perhaps it will be found that time travel is as easy as peering into any object magnified 300 million times. Electron aberration corrected microscopes can magnify objects 2 million times at present. Time is elusive. Like a river of uncontrollable energy, intangible as gravity, it will be invariably controlled. Perhaps by controlling all electrical energy surrounding an object, removing all gravitational influence, or, although unlikely, through non-technological means requiring mental skills not yet mastered because of humans' desire to be distracted. Although these have probably been tested over time by the handful of hermit yogis that spent their lives isolated in caves. No, any time traveling done would be technologically driven. Truly deep space travel is impossible given the example of Halley's comet. It is impossible to break the Halley's comet threshold by exhaustible means of propulsion. All space debris of diverse sizes within a light year's radius travels with great speed towards the direction of our sun. Debris such as asteroids, comets, and meteorites, down to less powerful but never-ending supply of little rocks, dust, and relentless photons, creating an inevitable orbit for any object wandering in space. If it were ever possible to break the Halley's comet threshold, beyond would be a zero-energy speed of light zone, known as a hot pocket. This area of dead space has little simulated gravity in the form of friction, and for the most part anchors the object as the universe moves around the object. The universe expands faster than the speed of light, not taking into account its directional movement, which may be significantly faster. All all manner of experiments can be undertaken in this speed of light zone. Time travel will be a definite. No matter how much debate, or guidelines for use, rampant abuse will be the norm. Regard the current abuse that certain countries already use with nuclear energy. All time travel should be monitored, and as a precaution any energies created from this travel should be able to be detected and pinpointed from millions of miles before any traveling is allowed to be undertaken. Countless cultures long silenced except through ageless stone artwork, or tablets written with the earliest forms of language bear out that man was visited by alien beings. And with most legends, soon after more destructive beings followed, and the world was flooded and weapons of fire destroyed entire civilizations. Could these visitors be aliens, or more precisely, our own future selves time traveling to the past? Invariably followed by a series of more destructive visits to possibly sterilize the disorder caused by the first voyager. If these visitations are so well documented, a future society would have little recourse but to follow the path set through history, retracing these steps, to make sure the future line wouldn't be altered. Could it also be that the very genetic sequence of mankind was altered by a traveler sent from our own distant future? What if visiting the early societies, mankind had not developed as expected, finding them to be in Neanderthal states, or worse, at a time when they were supposed to be developing language? Would time travelers allow them to develop naturally, risking negating their own future timeline? The probability of tampering with DNA would be a given, as our history of early cultures creationism stories already gives free rein. Now imagine that with our past history of every culture being visited by gods. Wouldn't that give unscrupulous travelers acquiescence and almost a responsibility to roam openly within pre-written language cultures? Strange safari by the few bored insane that wish to be worshipped as gods. Perhaps some decisions would be made to enslave and set certain cultures to the mundane task of splitting and moving giant 2,000-ton rocks for hundreds of years, placing a harness on their early development, only to inexplicably disappear into oblivion, leaving massive monoliths as the only enigmatic evidence of their existence, guiding entire cultures to the task of cutting out each other's hearts on a mass scale as worship. Now imagine, if you will, time travelers going back to the time of dinosaurs, to a time after they were expected to be extinct, only to find they were still flourishing. What would these travelers do? Would they allow the dinosaurs to live, with a head start millions of years ahead of the infant mammal population? Or would they decide to annihilate them? Perhaps we ourselves will destroy the dinosaurs. There would be great debate, but the decision would be made to destroy them, to remove the competition of the mammals. Maybe in our guilt we would allow these creatures to live in undersea seclusion, or off-planet, possibly allowed to evolve independently in their proper timeline, to their own invariable escape, servitude, or destruction in our future. What would these creatures be like if allowed the millions of years of extra evolutionary time? Would these reptilian creatures be happy with their initial banishment? Besides rampant documentation of gods visiting Earth, there are just as many fables of humanoid reptilian gods doing the same.